So guys, I'm really excited to introduce our next guest speakers. The reason why is because I've been a fan of theirs for 20 years. I mean, growing up in this business and seeing their business, and man, it's exactly what we're looking at doing for our hierarchy as well too, man. They haven't produced one, they produced two multimillionaires in this business, not including themselves. And man, they're all the way out from California. They're up early to talk to our hierarchy, right? So guys, listen, I know you probably have 1 to 2 to 3 to probably 5 teammates that need to be on this call that are not on it. Text them real quick, man. Get their butts on this call because their butts are going to be on fire after this, man. I mean, talking about a story, Hispanic couple, man. Get ready for our guest speakers, man. Give a huge round of applause for our friends, our family members, man, and we love them dearly, man. Let's give it up for the great SNSD, Miss Victoria Gurfein.
Let's
Let's
go.
Hi. Good
Let's
morning.
go.
Good morning, everybody. So exciting to be on here.
Morning.
Congrats, Britt and Will. That was so exciting. It's so great to see young people, young couples, making their dreams happen. And I promise you, I know that you guys are feeling like you just got started, but that is a total dream to be a regional vice president in a company like Primerica. I mean, believe me, Neil and I knew that we had something really special on our hands, and we definitely didn't want to take it for granted. When we started, we were 24 and 25 years old. And I just want to go through a few slides just to give everybody some hope, because when Neil and I started, I was a customer service rep. Neil was a warehouse worker. And we just were excited about our life together because we were starting our life with our best friends. But we started off as clients with Primerica, and we had nothing. We were renting a room in a rented house, and we had no savings. And to have a company like Primerica, first of all, it was Neil's friend that was older than him, and so Neil looked up to him. But he was like, "What do I need to sit down with him about money? I don't have nothing. Why do they want to sit with us?" And then we realized, we were embarrassed where we were living, so we actually went to his house so they could give us our presentation. But we became clients right away. We said, "Oh, whoa, we need this right away. We need life insurance. We need to start investments." We were scared to start a mutual fund because we thought, "Oh, what if we don't have funds in there?" I started $25 a month, and so did Neil. And we did our budget, and we stayed up staring at the ceiling all night, kind of having that buyer's remorse, kind of the way a lot of young people do when they first start planning their finances together. We were scared to death. Are we doing the right thing? First, it felt good when we started, and now we're scared to death. But then they talked to us about the opportunity. And when I saw the opportunity meeting for the first time, I said to myself, this is for Neil. He loves people. He loves talking to people. He loves helping people. Anything to do with people, Neil loves it. And for me, I'm going to be supportive, and that's it. This is not for me, but I'm not going to hold him back because Neil and I were engaged to be married. And I said, I definitely don't want to start off being an anchor on his boat. I definitely want him to know how supportive I am, because when I met Neil, I was so shy and insecure. And Neil says I was afraid of my own shadow. I was so timid, and he helped me so much with my confidence to get out of my shell. For the first 5 years, I promise you, I didn't drive. I was scared to drive. He encouraged me to get a driver's license and drive. And believe me, if you know California, you have to drive to get around here. I always figured out a way, and actually is always asking Neil to give me a ride. The first time that I drove was because I had to go from A to B to my job. But the first time I got on the freeway was to go on an appointment. And the next time I got on the freeway was my very first women's event. I thought Neil was going to drop me off. I sold a few tickets to some ladies, and they didn't come, and I was stuck. And Neil said, "Hey, Hey, you said that you're going to overcome your fears. You said you're going to be example for the ladies in your family. You said you're going to be example for las Latinas. What's going on now? You don't want to do it. And I said, yeah, you're right. So that was the first time I got on the freeway, and I'm just telling you this because I want to give people out there hope where Neil and I started from, and that we started almost like basically with a nothing and no financial background at all. And I was working at Farmers Insurance as a customer service rep. I quit that, knowing that I wasn't sure if it was going to be for me or not, but I definitely was a crusader right away. Neil and we believed in Primerica. I actually learned more in Primerica in 2 weeks that I was in Primerica than I did that I was working at Farmers for a whole year and a half. I went to a Saturday training twice. I took notes. I went to my job. I asked the client if I could see his policy. And I found the rules in there. When you do plan A, plan B, I wrote them down. I brought them to my work, and I found it in the table of contents. I couldn't believe it because I always said to Neil, I'm not that smart. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to help you in Primerica. But I found those rules. It made me sick to my stomach that I was working for a company that was not educating families, that was not giving them the best. And I gave him 2-week notice, and I didn't know where I was going to work, and I don't even know where I got that confidence from. But I said to Neil, I'm going to get a job somewhere else, and I don't care how long it's going to take me, but I will learn this, and I will help you as much as I can. And then along the way is what happened was Neil and I got licensed together. We both got licensed. His license, because back then everything was paperwork, got delayed. My license came in, and he said, "Woo, we're in business." And by the way, I didn't pass my first time, and I just thought, oh my gosh, I knew it, but it was just supposed to be that way so I could give other people hope that don't pass the first time. So I saw a lot of people quit because they were embarrassed or they didn't think it was for them because they didn't pass. And now you hear people, that, it took 2, 3, 4 times. It doesn't matter because it's about long term and your thinking and who you're talking to and what are you reading, what are you putting in here. That's one of the greatest gift that I received in Primerica is that it gave me inspiration to work on myself, that I didn't have to be stuck. But because before Primerica, I thought you are who you are. You're born, you're born poor, and that's who you are, and you're born not smart. And when I started to self-improve, because in Primerica they said, you can self-improve and change your life, and I totally believe that. And I believe 100% that attitude is absolutely everything, and that I was meant to encourage Neil to do this, and that I was meant to do it myself because I thought it was for him, but it was more for me than I ever knew because it gave me that confidence. And before you knew it, I was out on appointments. And I started to shake like the first time I gave my presentation. The client across the kitchen table took my presentation and said, let me flip the chart because you're not doing a good job. I was mortified. And you know what? Before that, I was practicing night and day, that presentation. In English and in Spanish, I was practicing it. And for him to say that to me, I said, I got to get better. I can't feel that way. And one of the things that helped me was, because I would get nervous every time I thought about getting in the car and driving somewhere, I thought to myself, how would I be if it was my family? What if it was my aunt, my uncle, a relative, my sister, my brother, and they had a cash value policy? How would I be at that kitchen table? And that totally changed my demeanor. I wasn't scared of the person across from me anymore. I said, I can do this. And that inspired Neil to see me change so much, you guys. The first time I got up on stage to talk, I cried, and I had a lump in my throat, and I wanted to just go sit back down. And then everybody in the office started saying, you can do it, Victoria, you can do it. And I got even more embarrassed because I'm supposed to give a talk about, helping people, explain to them what we're doing to have success, and I couldn't do it. So there's been different stages in my life that have helped me overcome my fears where, when I wrote my goals and dreams, one of the things is I wanted to make Neil proud of me, and I wanted to retire my mom, and we wanted to retire Neil's mom, and I couldn't do that if I'm not the confident woman that I'm meant to be. And God's given us all gifts. They're all inside. And if you haven't seen them yet, it's because you haven't tried. You have to work in order to see your gifts. And if I can share a little bit, I have some slides. Am I able to do that? I will hit share. Okay.
Yes.
Great, thank you. And because you know what, sometimes when I get on a roll and I'm oversharing, and I forget a few things. So I'm going to explain to you what I've learned so far in the 26 years that Neil and I have been in Primerica. This is a picture of us in San Isidro Ranch, where we renewed our vows last year, our 25 years together. And like I said, we were engaged to be married when we joined Primerica, and 3 months into Primerica, we made over $10,000, and we paid our wedding cash. And here, so we went to Santa Barbara for our honeymoon. We decided that we weren't going to overspend like everybody else or max our credit cards, which is what we were going to originally do. We went to Santa Barbara for the weekend, and we said one day we're going to come back and stay in the best place, because we stayed in this this place that was, just a very small place. And we've been going back every year to San Isidro, which is just like 5 minutes from Santa Barbara, just to remind ourselves that we we started really small, and we made our dreams big. So first, I just want to say, the first thing that helped me and helped Neil and I both with our confidence is to believe in God, because we started from nothing, and we didn't have a lot of support, encouragement from anywhere else other than Primerica. We made a lot of mistakes, meaning like what to do, what to say, what not to say, bring people in and talk them out of the business because we would say all the wrong things. But you really have to start working on yourself, believe in yourself, so you can start believing in other people. And you believe in what you do. Like I said, Neil and I were crusaders from day one. His parents had cash value, my parents had nothing. And we knew that we had to right or wrong. We knew that there's a lot of people out there hurting that have nothing and that are being taken advantage of. So if you have that crusade in your heart, you're going to know that you're part of something very, very special. The first book that I read was All You Can Do Is All You Can Do by Art Williams. That literally saved me from quitting, because Art Williams says in that book, everybody quits on everything the first 30 days that they start anything. And I cried, because I said, that's me. I quit on everything my first 30 days. But one thing I realized is I never quit on Neil. Every time he would start something, I would say, I'm right there, I'm your biggest cheerleader. I just had to turn that around. So if you're one of those people that you're an encourager, but you don't believe in yourself enough, you just have to do the same thing that you do to other people and start believing in yourself and in other people and your dreams. That's really important, because what my dream was, after we did a dream board, big house, nice cars, vacation, what we really wanted to do is retire my mom, and take care of my mom, take care of Neil's mom, and obviously, ultimately, we were able to do that. This is something really important that I learned along the way, is to have patience with yourself to learn the things that you need to learn, and urgency, to learn the next thing. Is don't be complacent and don't be scared to learn something else that's challenging you. So you're going to have patience for yourself, for your partner, for your family that doesn't believe in you. Have patience that if you're consistent, they're going to start believing in you again, and start seeing, wow, they're really serious. They really mean this. And you're going to start getting your whole family on your side after a while. Just, stick to your goals and don't quit. Don't let them be right? They're waiting for you to quit. And have patience and urgency with your upline, because sometimes your upline might be a district, a division, a regional leader, and even a new RVP. They're still learning. They're still learning that stage, that role of leadership, and you have to have patience with your upline that is learning that part of the business. Because sometimes you think like, oh, why did they make that call? And it doesn't make sense to you. And it is the right call, but you're just learning that part of the business right now. So hang in there, be patient and have urgency to learn the next thing. And patience with your clients, right? Because they're going to ask a lot of questions. And I promise you, you can do this. It's so simple. I recruited somebody 20 years ago. I just re-recruited him because he became a client again just a couple of days ago. And he's like, hey, I'm still interested. I want to get back in there. He was a very, very young man at the time. He still is, but he said, hey, this is the same thing. And guess what? We recruited somebody for him too. And now we're getting him off to a fast start. But trust me, 20 years from now, it's going to be the same concepts, I promise you. So you will learn them, and just know that anybody that comes on board, you're going to give hope to. Okay, ownership mentality. And I show these pictures of Neil and I is because, we got married and we had a baby before our goal was become a regional vice president and then get the ring and then have children. No, that's not what happened. We got married, then had a baby, and we're still in the base shop trying to grind, right? But you know what? It was the best thing that could ever happen to us, because any challenging moments, that made us that much better, that much stronger as partners, as parents, as leaders in the company. Because you know what you do when you become a parent, you take responsibility 100%, right? That's why I say we took 100% of ourselves. You take 100% of your attitude, your calendar, your QBI, right? Because you're a business owner. So those are the things that you need to learn for yourself, so you can teach other people, that when you work hard for your money, you want to keep that money, right? And that's what we learned with our team. And that's not the fun part of the business in the beginning, but you realize that's where you have control of your business, and also, you have, control of your coachability, right? 100% responsibility. I promise you, the more coachable you are, the more success that you're going to have in your business. And it's a numbers game. It's not you, it's who you're talking to, how many people you're talking to. Really, you can say all the wrong things to the right person, like you hear people say, right? And so just keep that in mind. It's the number of people that we're talking to. And like Eric was saying, we do have a dynamic team. We named them the Dream Team before we even knew that we were going to have a Dream Team, right? Because, we just focused on, what we're going to have the best team. We manifest those things. And so whatever you say to yourself and to your team, that's what you're going to manifest, because you expect that. So we, challenge ourselves, and we're 100% committed. So you're going to find 100% committed people, and it's just a matter of time. And this is just like one show that we did with our team, and we're super grateful because they're all dynamic in their own way, just like you guys have a dynamic hierarchy. And by the way, Neil and I admire so much your parents. We admire Ed and Yvonne so much for, first of all, the service that they did to our country, right? And to start in this business as partners, we get excited to be part of a company that have incredible couples, and the whole Ortiz family, incredible family like that. That makes us feel proud to be part of Primerica and to watch you guys grow. And believe me, we saw you as young men. You're still young men, but we saw you just grow. And in Primerica, they say, time flies when you're having fun, but in Primerica, it goes even 10 times faster. Like just the other day, the Ortiz boys were just young kids, and now look at them, boom, first of all, beautiful wives, just great partnership. It's so exciting. We get excited, believe me, to watch you guys all the time. Thank goodness for social media. We get to see all the amazing things that you guys are doing. It inspires us to keep going with our hierarchy, because we know we're going to have more young people like that to watch you guys as an influence. So really keep going. It's a numbers game. Sometimes people say, as you might have some newer people on here that say it's not happening for me, it's not for me. It is for you. If you have that desire, if you have that dream, if you feel that that you have more to accomplish, and you might think, oh, maybe this isn't for me, you haven't tried enough yet. You haven't talked to enough people. I promise you, it is the numbers game. The people that we have on our team came because we just were talking to a ton of people all the time, every single day. Okay, and this is key. Like I said before, self-improvement is the key to success. Okay, if I only had, a few words to tell you, it would be self-improve, and attitude is everything. And just a few key tips, because we're always dealing with people. We're in the people business. Don't make decisions when you're upset. Primerica can take you high and low, right? Because we're dealing with people. Just think about the decisions that you're gonna make, because you're gonna ask yourself, who is my decision affecting? And who is my attitude gonna affect? And also, when you're dealing with people, you got to remember something. Put yourself in their shoes. You don't know what they're going through right now. Maybe, they were short with you, and you're just like, what? I guess, we're not good, working together, but you don't know what they're going through. So just have patience with people. Like I said, have patience with your team. And remember, we're all in this together. You can't build a team by yourself, right? And you can't be nitpicky with every personality. You're not going to get along with everybody. Listen, we have a bunch of mavericks on our team, and they're all independent. But what you got to understand is you're just teaching them the business. You're teaching them the business. And sometimes you may butt heads, but don't let that stop you from working with that person. And also, they're growing like you're growing. So everybody is in this together, and we work as a team, and you do get to know each other, and you're going to realize that, what, we have a lot in common. And then you start building those strong bonds and friendships with your team, because in the beginning, everybody has to learn to be coachable. And then after a while, you realize, wow, we're in this together. And that's where you start appreciating each other, really respecting each other more than anything, and really being proud of being a part of something special like Primerica together. The other thing is, from the beginning, from day one, we're grateful. I'm so grateful. I in the beginning, I felt like maybe
Miss Victoria, you're muted. Someone accidentally muted you.
sorry about that. I just know that that it is for everybody, and all you have to do is give it a try. This picture is Neil and I, our very first contest. Like I said, we made over 10,000. We got licensed in June, and September we got married. We Our first month we did 10,805 direct recruits, and they came by and picked us up. This white car right here is actually a limo. I was so excited. I couldn't stop smiling. My face hurt by the end of the day. My cheeks, I couldn't stop smiling, because we met Hector and Jan Lamarck that day, and we met Mark and Sue Younger and all of their RVPs. And I encourage you guys to win every contest that they give you, the base shop, the hierarchy, the company, because you start to believe in yourself the more you meet people that are having success, because you say, wow, they're no different than I am. And the other thing is that I always thought successful people were snobby, thought they were better. And when I came into Primerica, I learned that it was completely the opposite, because we never forget where we came from. And see those two young people? I still feel like that young girl that can't believe, pinching myself, that I can't believe that I'm here. I still wake up thankful to God that we have this life that we have, this opportunity that we have. Every day that I was overcoming challenges, it made me feel so good that my efforts, count, and that I have people, in my life that are counting on me. And so you do have to have that childlike enthusiasm. Attitude's contagious. Is yours worth catching, right? I love the energy that you guys bring on. And just always remember, for you guys that are just getting started, just work really hard. Work hard. I promise you it's worth it. Give it all you got. And I promise you, you'll be happy that you did. There's people counting on you all the time. To see, these are our moms, and just a few short years later, we have been taking care of our moms for years, but a few short years later, we retired them. My mom worked in a factory. First of all, she was orphaned when she was 8, and my parents had 6 kids. My mom, my dad was in and out of the picture. My mom was our strength. My mom was our everything. On her own, she bought her house. She never got into credit card debt. My mom worked in a factory for almost 30 years. She had blue fingers because she worked in a factory that made ribbons for typewriters. And she worked there so long that she was making cartridges for computers. And those blue fingers just reminded me of how amazing and special my mom is. I mean, she would go and speak at church, and her fingers would be blue. Her nails would be manicured, and she's just a beautiful lady. But that just reminded me that, like, I needed to free my mom, and that's what got me to do the things that made me very, very uncomfortable. And Neil's mom, she lost her husband when we were brand new in the business. Um, and Neil dedicated his life to replacing cash value and helping as many families as possible to get into life insurance, because they were financially devastated. And so, our family is super, super important. I know if you guys, even if you see social media, we still don't post enough that we should. All the trips that we've gone to with our family and everything, we're super grateful for that. Truly, we got to get better at that. But we've been able to do so much for our community, for my family. This is our see, if you can see all the people on the stairs. We had a Rodriguez family reunion that Neil and I hosted, and it was pretty awesome. And we love creating memories like that for our family. And the reason why was so special is because my cousin, she has heart condition, and this was right before her surgery, and we were really scared that she might not make it. She's had so many complications. And so this was extremely emotional trip that obviously happened before COVID, right before COVID, but it meant a lot to all of my family to have us there, and thank God that she made it through. But she just, is just so overwhelmed with the love that everybody poured on her that day. And it was New Year's that we had it, because we used to get together every year for New Year's from my grandmother's birthday, which is January 1st. And to get together like that with our whole family, first it was just us, my siblings and my cousins, and to have all of our kids together to relive that with everybody, it was just pretty awesome that Neil and I were able to sponsor that. And these are our boys right here that are counting on us. And, without getting too personal, if we weren't in Primerica and we didn't have the resources that we did, our oldest wouldn't be here with us. So truly grateful, because you never know who is counting on you when you're working hard to build your dreams, who truly is, and how much they're really, really going to need you. So that was some of the things that I wanted to share with you guys, to give you guys a lot of hope and inspiration, and to let you know that we love being part of this, the partnership that we're in, and to get to do what we do is awesome. So if you love what you do, don't ever give it up. I think that Neil and I look at, like, Bobby and Red Buisan, we're like, hey, yeah, that's where we want to be, is just always giving back to the company that gave us so much, because we love it, and this is what we're about, is a company that has changing lives all the time. So, without further ado, I'm going to intro you to my best friend, somebody that has made this journey so amazing and so worthwhile. I'm so thankful every day that he's my partner, he's my best friend. If it wasn't for Primerica, this warehouse worker, I would have never seen the leader that he has become. I promise you that when I met him, he just made me laugh every day. And I said to myself, I don't know if I'm going to be rich or poor, but I just know I'm going to have a lot of fun in my life, because this guy cracks me up and makes me feel good. And what I never knew, the leadership in him, if it wasn't for Primerica. So please help me welcome my awesome husband, Neil Gurfein.
Thank you, Victoria.
Let's go, Neil. Victoria, thank you so much.
Great job.
Thank you, Victoria.
Hey, Ortiz family, what's happening? Hope everything's going unbelievable.
There
I'll
it
tell you
is.
what. Hey, I'll tell you, what a great morning to really kick off the second half of 2021. And I really think that you got to realize there's an old saying, when you're there, you need to be there. And if you look at the dynamics in the world right now, there's still no answer, but yet you look at Primerica with more six-figure incomers, more millionaires than any business in United States history, and tested and bona fide during dynamic times, adversity times of just strength and just doing what's right, because those who stand for nothing fall for everything. The grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you plant it. And I really believe America, human beings under the sun around the whole world, forget their defining moments. And the fact is that you're one recruit away from an explosion, more ways than one. And I promise you guys right now, it's just all about a winning attitude. And I think, what we do is relatively easy. Okay, I promise you that. It's just that thoughts become words and words become action. And those who think about Primerica the most, your goals, your dreams, your business, your vision, your compelling reasons, your why, you're going to respond on the defining moments. You learn how to become coachable here. I really believe it's a free will choice, a process to be coachable, because you could be nice, but you're not coachable. He's a nice person, but why is their numbers always the same? How come they never really have activity? Why do they tell me they have 6 KTs through Sunday, and by literally Saturday night, they're in a witness protection program and I can't find them? Are you with me, right? They're rolling with Henry Hill. And I promise you right now that it's something significant to realize that, you really are one recruit away from an explosion. And we hear that a lot when in a journey, we hear that a lot. But the reason why we know that's such a, profound, choice of words is Victoria and I were that one recruit away from an explosion. Because if the why is big enough, you don't need to worry about the how. We were hungry. I mean, we came in and we were fired up. We were excited. We obviously had a lot of faith, but in the process. But in 1995, we thought Primerica was the greatest opportunity in the world. In 1995, it was like a $40 million company. We had payphones. We had a pager, and we were cool. If we had a cell phone, it was a Motorola, and we had to get the antenna out like that. It was like cash value, universal life option B, 13 seconds was $200. Are you guys with me, right? It was ridiculous, right? So if technology is changing, why aren't we changing? What's funny is a lot of you don't even know what a payphone is. Are you guys with me, right? And you got to understand right now that when you look at our opportunity, it has more six-figure incomers, more millionaires than any business in United States history. So with that being said, if you're going to struggle, don't you want a fighting chance? See, I really believe that a lot of people don't understand their role right now. Yeah, dude, I'm excited. Yeah, dude, I'm fired up. Yeah, dude, I want to do this. Ortiz, okay, I got it. But if you realize where you're at in this time right now, we're in the second half of 2021. I mean, I don't even know how to explain this to you. This weekend is so critical to your future financial security, because it's the second half of the year, it's the second half of the month, and it's a weekend of urgency. It's a weekend of an internal exception that I don't want to live like this anymore. I don't want to feel this way anymore. I'm done saying something and not delivering. I don't want to be like that anymore. We're supposed to make mistakes. We're human. We're like a jigsaw puzzle trying to figure ourselves out. But when you look at an opportunity that's thirsty, that's hungry for leadership, that no one's in your way but you, that we're not going to stop you from keep bringing people to the Zoom or the op night or the Saturday training, or, oh, it's not fair, too many people, or, I mean, the sky's the limit right now. And you got to understand right now, it's like, if your why doesn't make you cry, like, I don't know what to say. And I'm talking from like a core, like, leadership talk to like I talk to the hierarchy, like, who wants to be first string? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I know we're tight, we're boy, but who wants to be first string? Not on what you say, but what you do. See, first string, you know, is going to always be there. The first one there, last to leave. First string's never going to be at 0. First string's always going to have activity. First string's always going to introduce new people. First string's always going to be plugging in first. First string's always going to be answering my phone call. First string's always going to be a breath of fresh air. First string's always going to lead from the front. And then you got second string. Second string, they come to the meetings, they play a role, they don't do 0, but they can do so much more. Are you with me, right? And then you got third string, which are awesome, great people. You know what I'm saying? They maybe come to, almost every meeting. They close a sale every other month, okay? But there are very important roles of first, second, and third string in your base shop or in your hierarchy or in your haven, okay? But see, here's the thing you need to understand. First string, second string, and third string. Second string could be first string with one choice. Third string could become first string with one choice. And I really believe as long as you're OFB and up in a down world, we're in the attraction stage. And you're going to always attract people to be inspired. See, in my 26-year journey with Victoria, we've seen a lot. We've accomplished a lot. We all have awesome, amazing track records, okay? But I promise you, okay, I've seen over and over people come in and they'll read self-improvement just to share with their team, but not apply to themselves. You know what I'm saying? I've seen twice, not once, but twice in my 26-year journey, somebody crying, the tears start dropping down, stop, and go back in their eye. Are you guys with me, right? Okay, that's not who we're looking for, okay? But I promise you, as long as your heart's in the right place, and you can do what you say and say what you do the best you can, and you try the best you can, and you're always asking for help, like John Wooden says, right? John Wooden, the Wizard of Westwood, more NCAA basketball championships than any NCAA basketball coach in the history, more than Coach K, Dean Smith, right? Tom Thompson, right? John Thompson, like he says, it's what you learn after you know it all that matters. So if this guy's like produced duplication, he had a big base shop, and they started promoting out strong firsts like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Walton, Jamal Wilkes. I can go on and on and on of a long distinguished list of Hall of Famers in the NBA today. But it all started in a base shop. So you got to be district. And by being district, and you start mastering the district level, then you got to go division. And as you start mastering the division level, then you go regional. And as you start mastering the regional level, then it's a no-brainer. You're an RVP the rest of your life. See, when I first started Primerica, I told Sue Younger, I said, hey, teach me RVP. She said, I'm going to teach you district first. And I went, dude, like, 1, I got fired up. She talked like that. 2, it's like she's right. And I kind of found home with Rick Susie's ultimatums and absolutes and, his tough coaching. It's like a locker room, like, oh my God, where's this guy been my whole life? As my parents filed bankruptcy twice, lose $125,000 retirement income, a bad business partnership. And I used to hear my mom cry behind closed doors late at night going, man, they work hard, but maybe hard work don't pay off. No, they were just the right drivers in the wrong vehicle, right, with the wrong leadership. So when you look at like the Ortiz family, they're like a power surge, right? They're a power surge. They're bona fide. They're mental tough. Their family business is remarkable. There's no holes in the canoe. And as you plug into them, right, it's like you can lay the cards on the table. This happened, that happened, this happened. We want to win. And once you get that validation, once you get that, this is where God wants me to be. This is where God wants me to be with this family and do great things. Once you get that, the whole opportunity starts to rule 72, starts to rule 72, starts to rule 72. Because God doesn't design junk. Are you with me, right? Someone else's trash is someone else's treasure. And that is going to be the hardest work that you're going to have to do, is be at peace that this is where God wants you to be. Because we all have so many talents. We all have so much, charisma. We all have all these different things. But all Victoria and I ever did is went to work on creating on a first impression that you can never make up, a haven, an environment where average people can come in to do average things extraordinarily well. And I mean, always being OFB, open for business, right? Regardless of what was going on in our backyard of adversity and highs and lows and tears, and because leaders are lonely. Nobody cares. Are you with me, right? Like when you got a problem, 80% don't care. It's the other 20 that are doing the Bernie on you right now. Are you with me, right? That are fired up that, you know, you're hurting. Are you with me, right? And let me tell you something else. And I shared this a few times. I think I shared this with Eric earlier. But haters don't leave when you win. They just get quiet. And here's another thing, okay? And this is strong leadership talking at you, okay? Okay? Like haters don't leave. They just get quiet. But right when you think people got it, they don't got it. They don't got it. They spend more time trying to undermine, more time wasting time on Chisme and Pobrecito and wasting time on El Cucuy and start wasting time on Freddy Krueger, wasting time on things that don't matter. And all you have to understand is that's on them. You know, all you could do is all you could do. All you could do is all you could do. All you could do is all you can do. You know, just keep bringing more people in, keep recruiting, keep bringing more people in into the environment, and become a great inviter. Start explaining why you're doing Primerica, why you're doing this, why it's, once you understand why you're doing Primerica, everybody's going to join. Once you're at peace that this is where God wants you to be, this is when your business goes to the next level and your rocket breaks gravity. Until then, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result. Are you guys fired up or what, right? And so when you think what's happening, I just want to give some props here, but there's a lot of talented people on the Zoom right now. I mean, there's a lot of people getting after it. I mean, you know, Jason Jackson, 250,000, Eric and Benny, 300,000 earners, right? You know, Hernandez, a $200,000 earner, 25 years old. Willis and Jay Wright, 150. You know, Brian Medina, Turner, right, 100 grand. Brandon, right. The reason why I'm going over this, Brittany Moore, in 9 months of Primerica, 100 grand. That's what brings people in that want to get buck wild. That's what wins national championships, right? You know what I'm saying, right? Like that's what gets after it. I mean, you take like the Atlanta, like for an example, the Georgia Bulldogs. They're not always talking about Herschel Walker anymore. Okay, they have other NFL people. They have so many other, they're 4, 5, 6 deep in every position. It's time for you guys to become a powerhouse. Time for you guys to become national championships. Time for you guys to just spread this youth and this haven of just freaking winning and attributes. Like we're going to dominate. We're going to dominate from the Midwest to Florida, the 52 states. You know what I'm saying? And start building a vision, because it says biblically, a lack of vision, you'll perish, right? And so it's so important you understand that. And it's like, I want to be part of that. You know what I mean? I've been on the Benjamin Button plan for a minute. I promise you on that. I started Primerica 24 years of age, okay? Victoria and you saw some of the pictures of our journey, right? We got married in Primerica. We've had both our boys in Primerica. Everything we've ever had, 110% fiber of Primerica. We're organically built our business, BCK 93 straight up, right? Wrote 10 to 15,000 of personal premium for 5 years straight, 150, directs for 5 years straight, right? And what I mean by that is we did, 50 direct recruits, 120 team. We got all the IBAs. We had 90 to 130 people coming to meetings as regional leaders. We're the first couple to make $50,000 in 1997 in Hector Lamar's hierarchy. And that's before securities license, which, by the way, I took that test 6 times, and it wasn't because I'm dumb. Okay, I got a photographic memory. I could tell you what you wore back in 1982 and how your hair was and what song was playing. Trust me, okay? But you know what? I had 30 KTs a week. I was training 8 to 15 at one time. But I promise you, positive pressure is good, okay? And as a young man, burning the bridge, and, we couldn't put a stone on my father's grave for 2 years, okay? And I have a lot of homies that talked a lot. Oh, you ain't going to make it, dude. Gurf, you're going to be just like your dad. You're going to work hard and die. I used to hear all these things from people I grew up with, like when I was 7, 8, 9 years old, okay? And those things used to motivate me. Okay, and I look today and I made the right choice, man. I made the right choice. Regardless of what I have to go through, I'd rather be fighting here, with a guaranteed chance in Primerica than working for someone else's dreams, treating me how they feel about themselves. I'd rather be here where I have a shot to do something huge and impact other people and grow 1% a day to keep poverty away, you know what I'm saying, and beat to my own drum than work in an environment where I'm just a statistic and they don't even care about all the ideas I give and they get the credit for it. I'd rather be here where I could do something awesome, right, in my life. And I promise you, you got to use those reasons and those dynamic reasons and turn that negative fuel into fire to do something awesome in your life, okay? I trust me on that one. And all those people are still around. All those people know. Some of the people I couldn't even pay a check to come see my house. Are you with me, right? Because the best revenge is success. And it's not a lot of money in the bank, and it's not a big house on a hill, and it's not all these flashy cars you drive. It's how you feel when you look in the mirror. Right. You know, and I'm so proud how we built our business. You know, you don't attract a Tanya Poe by accident, or Eric Davis, which, by the way, you can see is about to dominate Primerica, okay? You don't see, you don't attract a Juan Myrna Guerrero, okay? All three of those are direct to Victoria and I by accident. Okay, these are people who come in our base shop and organically built a willingness extent. Like, we created a haven where they came and turned an IBA in, and the hardest work I had to do for Eric Davis was to get him to quit his job. You know what I'm saying? I go, man, Eric, you understand? You're going to be huge here. You're going to be huge here, right? And he'll be like, man, you're saying that to everybody, man. What the heck? And I promise you, okay, when I get done with you, you're going to be the mayor of Carson, okay? Why? Because of what we did, because what we stand for, because what we do, because I know you can win here. You know, all the things that people do before Primerica is why they could be successful in Primerica. And you guys keep missing that. They come in and go, I can't be you. I can't relate to you. It's like, you don't want to be me. God only designs only one of us, right? But you could be the best you. You see what I'm saying? Because all the dedication and efforts that you did to achieve your master's degree, or the commute you did from your job, we're not going to ask you to work any harder than you currently do. I just want to inspire you to become the total beneficiary of what you do here. See, you'll make more money part-time here than doing full-time at a job. Are you kidding me? Like, Juan Myrna Guerrero, they used to drive an hour and a half one way to our office, right? With 3 kids in a pipeline. I got news for you. 2 of those kids, one's a $300,000 earner today, and the other one's a $150,000 earner today. Like, and they're on their way. You know what I'm saying? Between the Guerreros and Ortiz, they're the 2 best family businesses in Primerica. Yeah. Are you with me, right? And so it's time to get after this thing, right? Think about it. I'm telling you, it's like, if age is just a number, it's overrated. Like, think about this. Colonel Sanders went around to age 69 until someone liked his recipe. That's why it's a Caucasian man in a white suit and a white caddy. And it was 69 until he got rejection forever, until they liked his recipe. Are you with me, right? I mean, are you guys with me? Nelson Mandela got married for the 3rd time at 80, right? 83 years of age. Why? Because he's letting everybody know it ain't over until it's over, right? I mean, LeBron James signed a $100 million contract with Nike at 18 before he even signed his first contract with the Cavaliers. Why? Because he increased his value in the marketplace. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say here? Like, you got to understand that you got to throw that out. It's time to get competent. It's time to get after this thing. Right. It's time to make pro money. And the only way you're going to make pro money is by behaving like a pro. Like John Maxwell says, a boxer doesn't become a champion in the ring, becomes a champion outside the ring. Gets the recognition in the ring of what he did outside the ring. Well, outside the ring is Victoria Gurfein, PDR, practice, drill, rehearse, on a sexy Friday night when everybody else is out in happy hour, and Vicky and I are getting our competency going, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, our Saturday night, our late nights, and meeting with people. And we started becoming overnight this servant leader. Okay, like, we didn't even realize, like, we want you to win more than you do. I'm going to call you more than your conscience is going to call you. Why? Because I want to win that bad. You know what I'm saying? And you could play that role. That role is going to bless you. Is anybody else pounding on your door of opportunities? Anybody else telling you you're awesome, you're a stud, you're a studette? Oh, I'm proud of you. Tell your boss take a flying leap. Is anybody else doing that? No. Why are you giving people power over you that couldn't even look in the mirror and tell themselves they're great? Why are you giving people power over you that tell you can only do so much? Why are you still rolling a Primerica of training wheels? Why are you so worried what people think? I don't want to live like that no more. Are you going to make mistakes? Every single day. We're human. But if your heart's right and you're coachable, we got the description for your diagnosis. Let's steamroll. See what I'm getting at right now? You see how it is? This is what it's about. Winning. Oh, the premium's coming. It's the choices these next 48 hours that we're going to do that the premium's going to follow. Like, Vicky and I are in a pool on a boogie board, right? We're going like this, and a bunch of waves start happening. I told VG, I said, look, as long as you and I are doing this all the time in the pool, it's a matter of time until we got some character flowing in the pool. That means that we're always going to be doing 10 and 10. We're going to be doing 10,000 personal premium always, and responsible for 10 IBAs via direct or deep all the time, because we're the best trainers. We're going to start popping out districts. And then when we started to realize this, Vicky, every time you and I train 8 to 15 people at one time, we can never lose. We always have activity. We're always making money. It's like a battleship hitting the brakes. It takes 10 miles to stop in the ocean. We started creating so much momentum just by doing that. I go, Vicky, every time, because I have a simple to mind, I said, every time we train 8 to 15 people at one time, it's over. Dude, back then, I promise you, there was no direct deposit. I mean, we'd be sitting there and we had bills, and we were full-time at regional leader. We had an office. I had a live-in nanny at the time. Like, I mean, anything to eliminate distractions for Victoria Gurfein to get it done, okay? It was a different world then, I get it. But I remember going to my office building, my RVPs, I needed that check, and it was sticking it outside the mailbox of their blue bag. It used to be a blue bag, and I'd like call them. There was no texting back then. And I'd be like, yo, dude, I need to get that check. I'm looking at it. Like, am I going to like do whatever it took to win? You understand what I'm trying to say? And I'm not saying that, we walk through a blizzard and snow, but I'm trying to tell you right now that it's okay to be sold out. It's okay to be on fire. It's okay to be excited about your life. Folks, if people aren't laughing at your dreams, they're not big enough. You understand? I mean, there's no way you can lose here. There's no way you can lose here. But it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be the way you want it to be. You understand? But when God does, obviously think about it. It's not going to be the way you want it to be. But as long as you continue to move forward, you're going to impact other people. And you can design the life that you want it to be. Because if it's easy, it'd be cheesy. If it's easy, everybody would do it. But it's worth it. And that's the difference. People go, well, do you have any benefits, dude? Is there like any benefits, bro? Like benefits? Yeah, how about self-esteem? How about liking what you see in the mirror? How about being the go-to person for your kids? How about taking the nose for all your boys and girls? How about being that person, the go-to person? Why does mom have 8 kids and the 8 kids can never take care of the one mom? Right? How about those dynamics? How about impacting your community? How about those kind of things? Like, it has so many benefits. It's ridiculous. But, your mind's like a parachute, ain't going to work unless it's open. Your eyes are just glued shut. You're just playing a game and don't know the rules to it. See, corporate America sucks. I mean, I used to, it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? In the 80s, right, a great decade. Some of you don't realize that you're here today because of it. Okay, but in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? You had Miller's Outpost, 501 jeans, you had corduroy jeans, you had a cassette. It was a different time back then, right? I mean, it was all good, right? Call people, collect on a payphone. It was just a slower world a little bit, right? But I promise you, in the 80s, a great job with degrees was 40, 50, 60 grand. In the 90s, as Clinton took over with the Reaganomics, right? You know what I'm saying? Or before Clinton, you had Bush, but then they had Reagan, and Clinton took it in like around 92, 93. In the 90s, a great job of degrees was still 40, 50, 60 grand. 2021 of July, y'all, a great job of degrees up to here is still 40, 50, 60 grand. Dude, in 1991, when I got hired as LA County Sheriff in July of 92, they went on a hiring freeze. We were in a Gulf War, and gas back then was went down to 67 cents a gallon. Today in Southern California, it's $5 a gallon right now. And we're still over in that hot mess. Understand, you're never going to get paid what you're worth. You're going to get paid what the job's worth. It's time to quit your job in your mind. It's time to start going full time here. It's time to start making some better choices. It's time to put a game plan together. It's time to do a dream board. I know Weird's wealthy, normal's broke, but what do you have to lose? Worst case, you're right where you're at. How's that been working out for you? Let's do this, man. Let's dominate this thing. This thing is on and cracking right now, man. Ownership. Own or be owned. Own or be owned. Ownership. $300,000 in income in Primerica is ownership. Ownership starts with a choice. Ownership starts with your attitude. Ownership. I want to play the role Ortiz. What do I got to do? You play. I just need a new right guard. I need a left tackle. I need a new wide receiver. I got the quarterback. I need a fullback. I'll play. I'll call the play, coach. I'm in. Right. And see, that's all Vicky and I've done is built the environment. 100-gram base shop, not one, but 100-gram base shop. We built 2 organic 100-gram base shops in an 8-year period that promoted out so many awesome RVPs today. But I promise you, high standards are everything. Okay, you can reload. You know, I mean, there's some transition people right now in our hierarchy are reloading. Popped out a bunch of firsts, right? Reload. It's a marathon. But when you're running a marathon, get that H2O and Gatorade. Are you with me, right? Get excited about, if you're a pilot, to call traffic control so you can land your 747. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people all day long, like, look, you look at my eyes. I'll be Christopher Columbus. You look at my eyes, you'll see sand. Like, we got this. We got this. There's not a thing you're going to go through that Vicky and I haven't gone through. See, all the adversity that you're going through right now is necessary because you're going to recruit Victoria and I, and we're going to go through the same thing. And how can you look us in the eyes with passion and consideration if you never went through it? And people miss that. People miss that all day long. I'm thinking of somebody right now that's losing their nose to spite their face. And it's like, bro, didn't you remember when Vicky and I showed you this, and Vicky and I showed you that, and showed you this, and showed you that? Too easy. Like, love the toughness. Love that it's worth it, right? Don't be a glass jaw champion, hollow in the middle. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Come on, charge. You get pushed, you push back. We're fighting for our lives here. You guys aren't excited. Oh my God. This thing is rocking, dude. This thing is rocking. And you know what? Nobody sees the hierarchy coming. Nobody sees the Ortiz hierarchy coming, right? So just love these moments. Everybody loves the peaks, but never want to talk about the valleys. But the valleys is where it's all at. The valleys is where you get your self-esteem. The valleys is where you get your character. The valleys is where you establish your belief level for others. The valleys is where you learn we, our, us. There's no I in team. We, our, us. The valleys is, oh, it's on and cracking. I've mastered valleys. I've planted my flag in the valleys. I planted my flag in the valleys. Oh, I've lifestyled it in the valleys. Oh, I quit my job in my mind. Oh, I made my living on life. Oh, I am a crusader. I love Primerica, right? For you to have that cash value policy, how does it feel to know that 40,000 other people had to be put in? For you to have that term policy with that company, how does that make you feel that 40,000 other people have to get this plan A because you got that term with them? See, that's why I do with Primerica. I could work for that company, but I do what's right 100% of the time. You know what I'm saying? People don't care how much you know until how much you care, and the eyes are the window of the soul. And I love this opportunity. And if you know what, no one came in and shared their story and shared what we do, you would have stayed in that cash value policy. So what kind of person are you? That kind of person that we show you how to get out of cash value and you go back and get a cheaper term with them? Are you soft? Is that who you are? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Come on. Let's roll up our sleeves here, folks. Okay, so there's some red light, green light going on in economy right now. Okay, there's some red light, green light going on with C19 right now. I'm over it. I'm so over it. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? I mean, when the world does become a new normal, which it is. I mean, it is. There's no more Chuck E. Cheese no more. There's no more Kohl's, if those are stores in your area, right? Nobody's really rolling in a movie theater that much right now. There's a few. I mean, it's opened up a little bit right now in Southern California, but for where I live, I mean, I know Florida is like, oh, we never wore a mask. Are you with me, right? Are you guys excited? You know what I mean? But in Florida, it's like, ¿qué es eso? Café no está loco, right? Like, it's unbelievable, okay? But here, dude, it's like, man, I mean, it's crazy, okay? But any way you look at it, I want to be animated. I want to be up in a downtown world. I want to be part of something bigger than myself. I want to dominate this thing. I want my name called in the meeting. I want to charge. And there's a difference between want and need. I need to win, not want to win. I need to win. And you got to ask yourself, are you hungry? Are you hungry? I'm hungry, man. I'm hungry. And I'm freaking, I can't explain it to you. I'm so hungry. I can't explain it to you. It's just like when you work so hard and you get after it and you pay those prices, and I'm still hungry, man. And that's the way a winner always feels. And you're a winner, and a winner will do whatever it takes ethically, morally right to win. And leave it on the field. Leave it on the field. I'll bust you up on the field. After the field, God bless you, but on the field, brace yourself. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes Alabamas are good. Are you guys with me, right? On the field. So I love it, man. This is good. I hope this helps you guys in a big way. I'll tell you, it's awesome. It's all day long. So just fire it up, Eric.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go, Neil! Thank you very much. We love you guys.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Oye, de corazón, man. Love you tremendously. Hold on, let me just 1 second here. I knew how to do that. Yeah, but hey, listen. Man, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys are absolutely phenomenal. You're our heroes. You know that, right? And let me share with the group. Back in 2008, when we had a big old recession and everyone was kind of just taking a break and everyone's trying to figure this thing out, I remember years after that, I remember Neil talking about, man, they just buckled up and they just went to work, man. Everybody's kind of taking it cool, man. Let's find out what the heck is going on here. These guys got up early every morning. These guys went to work. These guys were full of energy. These guys were, and they tore it up. And what they got going on right now is coming from back then. Guys, let me tell you, we are there now. This country right now is in that transition mode. We got to wake up, man. We got to get up early. We got to go to work. We got to get this energy going. We got to increase our income. We got to do what Neil and Victoria are doing, guys. I mean, we just can't take this thing, you know, que será, man, we got to go to work. We got to put the energy in there, man. We got to go. And I appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate so much for what you guys are doing and how you're building your business and so forth. And let me tell you, anytime you're over here in Florida, come on over, man. Mi casa es su casa. You know, we're going to do it big time, man. But we're going to dominate this thing, man. We're going to go to work, man. We're going to win. We're going to win because we feel it. And it's our time, guys. It is our time. All right. So let's go to work, man. I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Regards to your whole family, to your hierarchy. Eric, Guerreros, all those guys, Tanya, the whole night, everyone on this thing, man. Just give them some love from Florida.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you, man. And
thank you.
Teammates, let's go to work, man. Let's go. Circle of Champion. This is a circle of champion. You got NSD, $1 million income earner, SNSD, and the ultimate is Circle of Champion. Hey, show us that ring. Show us that ring right there, Neil. Show us that ring. That is a Circle of Champions ring. All right, guys.
You guys are amazing.
So let's go to work. Love you guys.
Thank you guys. God bless. Tear it up. We'll be in touch. Take care.
Thank
Thank you. Love you guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you guys. Thank you so much.
We're going to sign out. Bye. Hey, you know who we are? Who are we, guys? Come on, talk to me. Who are we?
We are
Millionaires.
Come on, let's go. All right. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Let's go.